Galvin Castine at Dragoon's Farm Equipment, beautiful downtown Mowers. It's the, what is it, 29th of March 2011. And we're here for the part of an annual open house event. But today it's farmers only, and what we've been told off camera is later on they'll have their open house type of event for the people in the lawn and garden. So we thought we'd talk to somebody who knows a little bit about tractors. And we're going to start with you, young man. What's your name?
Bill Muller.
Bill Muller. You're from Kubota?
Yes.
And what are you doing here?
I'm a rep for Kubota. I cover the dealers in the northeast part of New York, Vermont, and a little bit of western Massachusetts. And I basically take care of inventory for the dealers.
Okay. How many dealers you got to worry about?
I cover 22 dealers.
Okay. Was that established when you got involved, or did you go out and find a few dealers?
No, it was already established.
So you just ride around and collect the money is all you do?
Well, not really. You have to make sure that there's enough inventory to make sure the dealers are, they're stocked.
Okay. Now, Kubota, a Japanese company?
Yes, it is.
And as we're recording this, there's a whole lot of turmoil in Japan, and I know car dealers, car builders have got problems. How about
So far, it has not affected us. You got to remember, most of our tractors, our smaller tractors, are all made down in Georgia. Our loaders are made down in Georgia. The RTVs are made down in Georgia, and all the zero turns are made down in Georgia. The larger tractors are made over in 3 different facilities over in Japan. One is just a little bit north of Tokyo, which was not affected, and the other one is down by Okasha, which was not affected.
Well, one of the problems they had on the state side was getting parts. Even though they might have been assembled here in the U.S., they couldn't get the parts from Japan.
Yep. Nope. Our parts hasn't been affected at all.
Okay. How big a range does Kubota have for equipment? You've got lawnmowers.
We basically cover anything from 18 horsepower right up to 150 horsepower in the tractor area.
Okay, 150 horse. What is that telling me?
150
what's
horsepower.
That capable of doing?
For the larger farms, for the 300, 400 acre farms, they'll start getting into those 150 to 200 and 250 horsepower tractors.
Okay, now is it different horsepower on the engine than on the PTO?
Yep, you lose about 18% on your PTO drive on most of the units. So on 150 horsepower, you're still in at 120 horsepower on the PTO.
And PTO, of course, is power takeoff, which turns and runs the equipment.
Runs the equipment, yes.
Dragoons, how big a range of your equipment will they handle here?
They handle the full range. They handle all the lawn and garden tractors all the way up to the big 150 horsepower tractors. They do not cover the construction end of it, which would be the excavators and the track machines that Kubota just introduced.
Oh, so you're also peddling those, are you?
Yes, we just got into skid steers last year. It's a new market for us. So.
Okay, how did you end up with Kubota? What did you do to qualify
for the job? No, I knew the gentleman that there was a gentleman that had the territory for probably 11 years. He retired, and I applied for the position.
Okay, and you're out of where?
I'm down by Cobleskill, New York.
So you travel a lot then?
Yes, yeah. I'm out on an average about 2 nights a month.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, it's not.
Well, of course, there's modern computers and
yes,
you can just through the internet you can.
Oh yeah.
Communicate very well.
Yep.
But it's nice to see a face once in a while.
Yes, the dealers still want to see that. Yeah. I can do a lot of work over the phone, but they still want to get a hold of you.
Yeah, and it's nice to know who's at the other end of that machine.
That's it.
When they're sending something out there. So, and I think you get a feel for an area when you come up and look around.
Yes,
and
that's a lot of it too.
You get to understand the market, and you might see something here and say, Jack, maybe. Maybe you ought to consider this, or instead of that, do this here. So,
yes, no, that's a big part of it. It's a big part of it.
So when you go out, you probably go to more than one dealer, and you head out.
Yeah, most of the time I'll try to hit. I try to do every one of my dealers at least once a month.
And that's only taking you out 2 nights.
Yep, most of mine are right from the house.
So you're very efficient then if you can cover that territory in 2 overnight stays.
Takes a little bit of ingenuity and getting in the right place at the right time.
And avoiding snowstorms.
That's a lot of it right there too. Yep. If it's going to snow, I stay home.
You must have stayed home a lot this year.
No, it wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad.
Was it busier once you get into springtime?
Yeah, from about this time on, it gets busy, depending on the weather. If we get an early spring, we're busier a little bit more March and April. If it's a little bit later, it could be April and May.
Okay. Anything else I should ask you about that you're just dying to tell us?
Not that I know of.
All right. Well, thanks for chatting with us.
No problem.
All right, thanks. All right, we've tried to tackle this guy for about half an hour here. We've been waiting a long time to talk to you, Gary Dragoon.
Well, thank you very much.
You're a busy man. Tell us a little bit. I mentioned a little bit that today is a little different as far as who's here attending. So tell us a little bit about that in your own words.
Yeah. Well, we this year our shop's been pretty busy, through the winter time. So Wayne had a lot of work in there this spring, so we want to keep it. Couldn't very well take all the work we had out, and
so that's where your big tractors are.
Yeah,
big equipment.
Big equipment's out there, and we usually had that for display and stuff. So we figured we'd do just farmers right now, and then later on in the spring, if it ever gets here, that we'll do something for the consumers and everybody else, and then it'll be something for everybody. We can do demos and things like that. But for right now, we just didn't have the room, and with the snow and the mud that is around, we just couldn't shut down both ends at this time. So we'll do this one right now just for the farmers, and then later on we'll do another one for all the consumers and stuff.
So if you're a regular folk who's not a farmer and usually come to this, don't be offended.
No, we'll have another thing. They're just as important as the farmers are to us, so we don't want to offend anybody. You're absolutely right there. So we will do something later on, hopefully when it's a little warmer.
Yeah. As we're taping this on this 29th of March, it's snow flurries outside. Temperature is struggling to get over 30 degrees, and there's a lot more snow on the ground than we usually have at the end of March.
Yeah, and it stayed cold all this winter. We never got a break, or usually get a couple weeks of warm weather or something, but this year it's just been cold the whole time.
Yeah, it was a very, very chilly March. You got the official Case IH shirt.
Yep, that's for today.
That's for today.
Yep.
And you got the Cub Cadet hat. You come dressed.
I got my Kubota underwear, so I'm all set.
We'll assume that he's telling us the truth. I want to know. Last year he was one of these guys who was injured more than he was active. Have we seen the last of Gary Dragoon on the softball field?
I'm subbing this year. I like playing. It just that's a lot of time. 3 times a week down there is just a little bit too much running for me. But I did enjoy it, and like I say, hopefully I'll do a little subbing this year.
So there will be a Dragoons team?
Oh yeah, there will be a Dragoons team. Yep.
Yeah, that's West Plattsburgh League has really gotten into a league where you got to want to play softball to join, because they're.
That's a lot of gallons.
Yeah.
And at $4 a gallon of gas right now, I don't know if I want to go 3 or 4 times a week.
Well, that's I think I mentioned this last year, and that's something that you've got to be concerned about is when people hop on their big power lawnmowers. It's going to be that $4 a gallon gasoline in there. So it's tough to mow your lawn as often as you would like sometimes, or mow as much as you like.
And the thing that's really causing a lot of problems is this ethanol deal too. So anybody that, gas trimmers and chainsaws and stuff, people actually should be using high test now with more octane in it and stuff, because this ethanol it's been giving us a lot of problems. And you got to use that new style stabilizer with your fuel, otherwise you're going to have problems. And now they're talking they want to go to 15%, but they still haven't figured out what's going to go on with the 10% right now. So
you're talking the gelling problem?
Right, gelling, eating fuel lines. We had a lot of fuel lines eaten. Then as it eats it brings particles into the carburetor. Then the carburetor's plugged and the machine doesn't run. And And this last year was the worst we've ever seen it for that. So.
Now, I made the mistake of filling up my snowblower with gas. Then the snow got so high, I had to wait for Sam to come. So I've got a snowblower sitting there full of gas. Is it better to, in the fall when you're done mowing, to run your tank empty?
Yeah, drain them out. That's the best, and then probably just pour some of that stabilizer in there afterwards. But yeah, I wouldn't leave it sitting over, for any 3 or 4 months. I'd be draining it for sure.
Okay, so when you're done mowing your lawn this year, and usually it's easier to tell when you're done mowing your lawn than when you're done blowing snow.
That's right. Because I say we may be using snowblowers this weekend, so who knows?
You could be using your snowblower one day and your lawnmower 2 days later. So yeah, drain your gas tank there. Run out of gas close to you wherever you park it, so you haven't got to push it too far. But
yeah, but I would definitely get the new stabilizer. That's for sure. If not, you're going to have problems.
Okay, we just talked to a Kubota man, and you're wearing a Cub Cadet cap. Basically,
Kubota underwear, though.
Yeah. How many styles of lawnmowers do you have? Can I say lawnmowers, or I have to say garden tractors?
No, lawnmowers, zero turns. We carry the Husqvarna, the Cub Cadet, Kubota, of course, Troy Built. So we get about 4 different models.
So you got a variety.
Variety, yep. Depending on what people have for a price range. Oh, and I got a weed eater too.
That he desperately wants to get rid of.
3 of these I want to sell. So anybody looking for a small rear engine rider, make sure and give me a call, because I'll give you a heck of a deal on them.
26-inch wide though.
Yep.
But it's got the
Got a bagger. Yep. So you got a small lawn, it'd be perfect.
Perfect.
You guys have small lawns?
A couple of small lawns that go with all the big lawns, yeah. And it's green too.
It's green, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good color.
Oh, perfect color. Yeah, you can hide in the grass.
What'd your father say when that green came in here? He must have said.
He said, "What? I'm not going to say the other word. Did you buy them for?"
And you haven't figured out a good explanation yet, have you?
No, not yet.
Okay. Lawnmower wise, how was it last year?
It was pretty fair. Of course, it was wet pretty much this season, so the grass kept growing. And considering the economy and everything else, I'd say we had a pretty fair year. Yep.
You end up with a lot of used mowers, I imagine, because people come in and trade and want to move up and get something newer.
Yeah, we've got a lot of. If anybody's looking for a good used mower, I've got a lot of them right now, and who knows how it's going to be to get equipment this year. So.
Yeah, I was just talking to the man from Kubota, and he said so far they haven't had any problems. Yeah. But if you got parts coming from Japan, it could catch up to you.
Yeah, down the road, yeah. And they've been fortunate they didn't have any of their plants hit, but I guess a lot's been getting their workforce back to the plants to work. I mean, such devastation there. It's people, you just can't fathom how much them people are going through right now.
No, I put up with a little late winter snowstorm compared to what those poor folks that went through. 30-foot high.
We can bundle up and shovel snow, but when you go and there's nothing left.
Yeah, and the danger of the radiation and all that kind of stuff. And even in our own country, though, with the tornadoes we get, I look at that and I say, boy, I'd hate to go to sleep at night knowing there's a tornado watch in my area.
Wake up and gone, everything's gone.
Yeah, including yourself.
Yeah. I know we complain about the North Country, but
we're
pretty fortunate when it comes to that kind of disasters.
Okay, now you got wood chippers and log splitters and...
So another thing that's getting more popular now is fuel going up. People are going back to wood again, so selling a lot more chainsaws, wood splitters, chippers. So that's that in our sales increased in that last year by quite a bit.
So
by the sounds of it, it should be good again this year with fuel the way it is.
So you like those high prices?
No, I don't.
Gary Dragoon likes high fuel prices. He's only worried about his own sales there. It's you got to accommodate. You got to make changes in your lifestyle.
Yep.
And, what other? You got Of course, this here is a weed eater model, and we think of weed trimmers. The first model I guess we ever heard of was probably a weed eater.
Yeah. Yep.
And but you have there's a Husqvarna.
Husqvarna trimmers.
Quota doesn't make those, right?
No.
It's
Husqvarna have Echo. Echo's another big equipment for us.
And you've got all the safety equipment. We see the helmets and the gloves and the goggles.
Yep.
And
Boots, rainwear, chaps. Yep. Safety glasses. Got to have that today. It only takes a split second, and everything can change for you.
Yep, you just hit the little thing on the. You're trying to trim those weeds, and all of a sudden you hit something that flies into your eye. And but convincing people that they should be wearing those things isn't always that easy, though.
No, well,
It never happened to me.
No, you don't think it can, but boy, in 1 second it can all change.
Okay, anything else, Gary, that you think we should know about?
No, just thank you guys for coming up, that's for sure. And
I haven't mentioned Sam Castine's on the camera here, so I should mention it. Thank you for.
Yep. He's your brother, right?
Yeah, he's my brother. Yeah.
The man behind the scenes.
Pointing the camera.
He doesn't
today.
get any of the praise, but he's the man behind the camera.
Well, today he is, yes. And several times. He's in semi-retirement. He only does about 12 board meetings in Shazy, Shazy graduation. What else we got? St. Mary's Parade. We just get him out for special occasions. Yeah. He's a specialist now.
No, thank you again, Noah, and I appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Gary Dragoon at Dragoon's Farm Equipment in Mowers. Moving right along. I got tired of holding the mic up to Gary. I'm going to find somebody a little shorter. What's your name, sir?
Bernie Riopel.
Bernie who?
Riopel.
Riopel.
Right.
Where you from, Bernie?
Hooksett, New Hampshire.
I saw a New Hampshire vehicle out there. Is that yours?
That's mine.
You took the best parking spot, though.
I always do.
You got here early.
Old and lazy.
What are you selling, Bernie?
I sell shaving machines, airway,
Shaving machines.
yeah, to make bedding for horses and cows and chickens, and make aerating products for aerating fields, and to get the best results out of your fertilizer and liquid manure.
Okay, aerating products. You're talking putting holes in the soil?
Put holes in the soil, and
Kind of like a golf course might use?
well, golf course,
Similar
mostly
idea?
farmers are using it
Yeah.
now because they get better production results out of their corn grow, the yields and all that.
So tell us what you're talking about here. What are you doing with that? It's
Well, it's an aerating
this
system.
one here? Show me one.
We have one here that applies manure also,
Okay.
and we can make them up to about 30 feet wide. We have a couple farmers in this area that are already using this system.
Now, they go on this before.
Before they spread their manure out, they punch a lot of holes in,
So let's
let the manure flow in, so it doesn't flow into the streams and into the lakes.
Okay.
Stays on the ground, and you'll increase your production by 30 to 40% growth, and you're going to save $50 to $75 an acre on fertilizer. So it's got a very valuable tool.
So I see there's this.
And this one here is a drag line. You could use it with a tank, liquid manure tank, or you can pump it out of liquid manure pit right to the field into the ground. This will apply it right into the ground.
So you're telling me they hook that hose up to the
Right
tank?
to
manure
either
pit?
tank or the manure pit. They pump it out.
They pump it.
Yeah.
That's a long hose.
Well,
then.
they do. Yeah, a couple thousand feet, but they do it. We got a couple of these working in Vermont. It's being used for that purpose.
Now, this has got to be relatively a new idea here.
It's been improved on. It's not new, but it's been improved considerably. There's a lot of farms. We have a lot of farms downstate that are using it because of the value of it. You know.
Well, yeah, if a farmer's going to spend money, he's got to see he's got to be making more than he's spending. And,
We just
and plus
sold
his
a
time.
big one up here in this area, and the guy started using it last fall, and he's very impressed with it. So.
Oh, well, good. Was,
Yeah.
You know, there's I think it was Jerry Boyer, retired farmer, who said, "I've got so much equipment that's paying for itself that I'm going broke."
My other product is a shaving machine. We make bedding for horses, chickens, cows. Take trees, pine tree mostly, or poplar, and something of not real value, and you can make bedding for your horses or cows or whatever. That's another product that's going good. That's was doing better till the milk started going down, but now it's coming back. It's
Has milk gone up a
coming
little
back
bit?
to life.
Yeah, because you can't be spending it if you're not making it, and you got to pay for your necessities before you do something like that. Now, so this is just a shredder. This is like a wood shredder.
Well, it's like a big planer, and we can adjust it to make fine shaving, and we can adjust the shave.
How big a hunk of wood can it take?
We have a machine that'll take up to 40-inch diameter log, 8 foot long.
Wow.
And
So we're talking
right.
over 3 feet in diameter.
We make machines from 4 yards an hour to tractor trailer load in 2.5 hours. So we're very diversified.
We run the gamut.
Yeah.
So do you have a lot of people who do this for their own purposes?
Well, we have the little machine just came out, 4 yards an hour, for the people that do their own, like few horses, few cows. Then we go to the next size up, it'll give you 15 yards an hour. And then we have another one give you 21 yards an hour. We have another one that give you 80 yards an hour, and then we got another one that'll do a tractor trailer. So we can cover all bases.
So how low do the prices start in these, roughly?
The small one starts at around 16,000, and we can go up to 200 and some odd thousand, depending how much money you want to spend.
Okay, well, if you know somebody in the area who has one of these and wants some scrap wood, you can come pick up some wood anytime you want. I imagine it makes you very popular with your neighbors when you got something like that.
Well, yeah, you cleans up the backyard.
Yeah. Okay, and how big a territory? Did I ask you that?
I travel New York and New England.
All of New England.
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 40 years. I'm a newcomer.
Newcomer. Well, what were you doing when you started, though? Well, you weren't doing this.
No, I've worked for a number of companies. I'm a rep, so I have a number of companies presently.
So you're kind of on your own, but
Yes.
you take in companies and
Right.
you represent them.
I've worked for other companies that you've had me in the past on here.
Okay.
But those times have changed. I'm getting older.
All righty. Anything else, Bernie, that
No,
I'd ask
that'll
you
be
about?
it. No.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
I appreciate you chatting with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Sam is zoomed in on the little screen. What's that, about an 18, 20 inch?
Yeah, it's 17-inch TV. We take
17-inch.
all the shows and all the open houses. Gives you a good idea of what we have. It's a full product line video. That's actually our new Super Duty forage box. It's more for the commercial farmer.
Commercial farmer.
Yeah,
What's a commercial farmer?
commercial farmer would be custom operators. Would be even a better word yet. Farms that are going out and running, 10, 15, 20 loads a day, every day. Sometimes 24 hours a day. Bigger gearboxes, bigger chains, sprockets.
Cutting stuff like that.
Yep, for big choppers. That's a rear unload only. That's for just dumping into the bunk. You can do up to 26 foot long. Big machines for moving a lot of product.
Okay, who are we talking to?
Mike from H&S.
Mike from H&S. You got a last name, Mike?
Mike Galbraith.
Galbraith. Okay.
Yep. I've been you talked about, you guys have been here 22 years. I've been here 9. Actually, my dad was here for 34 now, still with the company. So, yep. So we've been coming to Jack's for a long time. Second generation coming here, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you share his area, or
No, two totally different territories. We're both territory managers. He has the rest of New York and Pennsylvania, and I have all New England, even down as far as Delaware.
And you're not in New England right now,
On the line.
on the line. So
I start here and head to the coast. Yeah, that's my area. Yeah.
So, what's the variety of equipment that you have? It's basically the forage boxes.
Yep, it's all related to the dairy farmer. it's hay equipment, manure management, manure handling equipment, hay rakes, the forage boxes. We have 4 different lines of manure spreaders. Just a lot of different diversity, which is good when you're out trying to sell product. It's good not to just have one line. It's nice. Family-owned company, 43 years old, father and 2 sons, still run it out of Marshfield, Wisconsin.
So what's the H&S stand for?
Heikkinen and Steinberg, but actually I say the H bought out the S in 1984, so it's just the Heikkinen family that owns it, and they're all based out of Wisconsin.
And they cover the whole U.S.?
Yes, and we're getting into overseas as well now. Yeah.
How about the company is located in Wisconsin? Is the manufacturing done there, or where's?
Yep, majority of all manufacturing is done at 2 different plants in Wisconsin, and we also have a distribution warehouse and assembly plant in Ripley, New York, which would be on the other side of Buffalo.
It's getting harder and harder to find American-made products.
That's very, very true. Very true.
Is that part of your selling points?
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Yeah, because it is hard to find, and it makes it easier on the parts side of it, because everything's coming from right here in the States, and we build all of our own parts too from scratch. We have our own steel mill, so everything is built right at the factory.
Oh, an own steel mill. Where's the steel mill?
Right central Wisconsin as well, right outside of Marshfield.
Oh.
Yep.
So I assume you've been there a few times?
A couple times. Yeah, a couple times. Heading back in June, actually.
All right. Does Dragoons carry one of each of your equipment, or how does it work?
A lot of it. The merger there, we definitely have sold mergers. Any of the manure spreader lines, different types, they have sold. The truck mount forage boxes they've sold. Looking at the new for this year is a new version of our tractor trailer box. Again, everybody's getting bigger. So they definitely, they sell the rakes, our tedders. Yep, pretty close to full line, I'd say.
But they don't necessarily have to have one of those pieces of equipment on hand here. They can have the brochure. And
absolutely. And that's one of the benefits of my job is inventory control, but a lot of product delivery. If we have one piece they sell, I can usually have it up here within a couple weeks. So that's one of the benefits to the dealer of having a territory rep that can actually know where the closest piece is that they can run and get. I can bring it in from the factory.
Now, is the equipment you're selling, is it predominantly the larger stuff now because you don't have as many smaller farmers?
It is going that way, but we haven't forgotten about that side of it too, because I go down to the edge of Pennsylvania, which is the bottom side of my territory, Delaware, Connecticut even, New Jersey. That's smaller spreaders, smaller mergers. So that side of the product line is not forgotten at all. But then you go to the much larger equipment like the twin mergers, which we have up here as well.
Yeah, if you take a look at that. So
Yeah, there's your other side of the spectrum again. Big equipment moving a lot of hay.
You don't want a 5-acre field and you grab out the...
probably need that just to turn around.
Yeah. Now, how about your little equipment? Do you have any? What's the smallest piece you got? Is anything? You mentioned it just popped into my mind.
Like here's a 25 bushel manure spreader. 25, 50, 80. That's for your smaller horse farmers, weekend people, even small goats, things like that. Yep, that would be on the smaller side.
You mentioned Pennsylvania, and of course, when I think of Pennsylvania, I think of the Amish. And do you have stuff that they can tow behind their horses?
Yeah, I've been on product demonstrations on medium-sized spreaders they pulled with a cart, a hydraulic cart with horses. I actually was out with one of these rakes last year, where we hooked that behind a team of 4 horses with a hydraulic cart and actually pulled it through the field. Yep.
So what's their criteria? As long as it doesn't have a motor, is that?
Pretty much. Yeah. Yep, pretty much.
Okay, well that brings you some interesting territory then, huh?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I love traveling this whole area. You can see a lot of different diversity in farms, in size, landscape, what works where, and at least we have a broad line that can fit pretty much any application.
Well, if the guy pulling this thing is going out there 12 hours a day, he's covering some acreage.
Yes, they are. They absolutely are. Yeah, that machine will bring in 90 some feet of hay in 2 passes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Anything else you think we ought to know about?
No, that's pretty much it. I said a lot of years up here and look for a lot more.
All right. Well, hope to see you next year then.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Next up, we have one of the board of directors.
Yes.
The Babby Rural and Farm Learning Museum. That's a lot of words. What's your name?
I'm Brett Falcon, and I'm on the board of directors for the museum. And we are just here trying to sell memberships, and we also were raffling off a quilt that we will raffle off this fall.
You didn't bring the quilt? You have a picture of it.
We have a picture of it. We didn't bring the quilt.
So how do we know there's a real quilt out there? The winner will get a picture of it, right?
Honesty.
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 So where's Leeward? Is he too old to come out?
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no?
For Leeward to come out with some, well, we all know he's hard of hearing.
Yes.
And it's not a good thing when he...
Eunice is being operated on.
Eunice goes in,
Oh.
his wife goes in tomorrow for an operation.
Oh,
so
he's got, as much as
as he
this has
wants-
been his thing here, he got more important things to worry about right now than apparently.
Yep. Yes, he is.
Okay, now the museum's been operating for
We opened last year.
most of the year, almost a year.
Yep, we opened last year in June. And we stayed open till October, and we've been closed. And we are opening April 22nd this year. And we'll be open the weekend. We've changed our hours. We're now open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only 4 days. But the last day of April and May 1st, we are having our plow and planting days. And we're going to show people how it was done back then, and try and get all the equipment going, and see how that works out. We plan on 4 big events through the year, and we have a new website that people can get on.
I'll take it.
That's our newsletter
Okay.
that we started. And the
So members get the newsletter.
members get the newsletter, unlimited access. We do charge an admission now.
Okay, so if you attend, it's no longer free?
No longer free.
How much is it?
It's $5 for adults and $2 for children 3 to 12 is $2, and under 3 is free.
Okay.
It's just hard trying to operate without an admission.
Yeah, if you're just waiting for a donation, sometimes you can wait a long time to
Yes.
before you get one.
Yep.
But this is a brave adventure of our friend Leeward. I know he's been thinking about this for a long time, and last year, through the hard work of him and also Rick, Lauren, and a bunch of other people, you went ahead and did it. I'll read the board of directors here: Leeward Babby, David Babby, Sharon Patry, Lincoln Sunderland, Eric Spalding, Brett Falcon, Todd Babby, Sharon Morrow, and Ricky Lauren. How did you get involved, Brett?
Well, Leeward's my uncle, and I've been working for him since I was 12 and a half. I started working on his farm when I was 12 and a half. Then I worked on various other farms up until about 10 years ago. And I've just always worked for Leeward in one aspect or another. When he started redoing, buying the antiques and restoring them, I was right there because I really enjoy it. I am just trying to figure these things out and see how they work is a joy. So I just stuck with it and been helping them ever since. I just enjoy it. I love it.
Never dreaming that you'd be on the board of directors and have such an important position, right?
No, because I never thought I was board material.
He probably volunteered you to be on that board too, didn't he?
Yeah, it's almost like the military. But I'm finding it much more enjoyable. Last fall we had 3 different schools show up. Peru and Shazy 2nd graders and Beekmantown 3rd graders. And I had a great time with those kids. And they just loved it. Right now we've been in contact with 2 schools, and hopefully this spring they're going to be showing up. And the kids and the teachers really enjoy it because it is so informative for the kids, and the kids they can learn a lot.
Tell us, briefly the whole idea. Sometimes when, like myself, because I'm so familiar with what Leeward's done over the years, you sometimes think the people out there know exactly what we're talking about. But tell us the basic concept of what Leeward had in mind.
He wanted people to understand where food came from, because right now a lot of people don't understand about farming and where that has come from. We're showing a progression of farming and the implements and how people did it from the early 1800s right on up to the 1950s, and then from there you can see modern day farming right around the communities now. And he wanted people to see where they really came from, where it started and how it started, and for people to understand that. I think we do a pretty good job. We try to. I guess we'll do better if we get a cow or something, but we're not hoping for that one.
No. Cows require 24-hour a day, 7 days a week.
But we just want people to understand how it all came about.
And we can move out of the way here, and maybe Sam can zoom in on some of these pictures. Come over on this side, Brett. But you've got things like the old goat and dog operated equipment.
Yep.
And you've got large equipment like thrashing machines and
2 thrashers. We have the Blacksmith Shop, which we're going to try and expand on this year. The Blacksmith Shop people were really interested in that.
And you guys ended up moving a couple of barns to the site there before last year opened up.
Yes, we moved a couple. We don't always like to say how we moved them.
Got there.
they got there. And now this year we did get chickens for this year.
Okay.
So a lot of people wanted to see the chickens.
They're cute when they're little chickies, but
they're not going to be little when we open. But we do have all this other, like the horse barn, the cow barn, our displays, milk cows, chicken coop.
So it's a good view. As Brett said, it starts with equipment that goes back as far as into the 1800s, but for the most part, I think if you look around there, you'd get a feel of early this century, early to mid-century of what it like. Obviously, the people in the 1950s weren't using the goat and dog-powered equipment, but turn of the century, it might have been.
Yes. Some of our equipment, like right here, the 2 threshers, one of them is, I get the date mixed up, but I think it's an 1873 Westinghouse. We use it. We still use it, and we have another one now that we just restored, which is a little bit older. And we're going to try and use that one too.
Well, that first one, I believe that's the one that came from Romeo Trudeau's on Cumberland Head.
This one here.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my uncle, and
yep. And David brings that one down and get them going side by side so people can see the big difference in them.
So give us those hours again. It's on the River Road in Peru, and if you don't know where the River Road is, swing around the school, and when you're on that curve, the River Road heads out toward a westerly direction, right?
Yes. Yep.
So give us the hours again, Brett.
We're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the hours are 10 to 4.
Starting April 22nd?
April 22nd, yes.
Okay, and your big events are?
we're having plow and planting days. April.
You didn't know there was going to be a quiz, did you? Huh?
No, I didn't.
Somebody doesn't want to be on camera. She's awfully helpful.
Yes. We have plow and planting days, April 30th and May 1st. Museum Day is June 4th. We have hay and grain harvest days, which will be August 6th and August 7th. Hope I got that right. And then we have a harvest days, October 15th and October 16th. And
there's a website.
We have a website.
Babby Rural Farm and Learning Museum. If you type in those, Google those, you'll come up with it. It's www.babbymuseum.org.
Yep, that's it. And it's in progress, but it's up there, and we do have our hours and our special events and what we got going on. So anybody that goes to the website, you should find.
Okay, and I think last time I looked, there were links to a couple of the videos that we've done there, so you can also link on and see some of this equipment operating.
Yes, you can.
All right, thanks, Brett.
You're welcome.
Sam suddenly got a lot taller, Wayne.
I guess he did. He's way up there.
Yeah, we can't get him this way just a hair, otherwise I won't be able to hear you.
Oh, okay.
We've got Wayne Dragoon here. He's the reason that you can't come back here today, folks.
Yeah.
How many tractors and equipment pieces do you have back here? It looks like you got at least 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, there's probably at least 10, I would say 10 tractors apart. We're in that area.
And if you did piece those together right in the middle of repairing them and moved everything outside, then moved back in, how much time would you have lost?
Yeah, we'd have lost at least a week. Coming into this spring, we've been busy. You know, it was a little slow in January, but February and March picked up, and we decided it was just would be take too long to, by the time you piece some of these tractors back together and drag them out, and then we'd have had to start like last Thursday, and we wouldn't be really back into swing till at least tomorrow or Thursday. So it'd be like a week of downtime, and a lot of this equipment, the farmers need, and they don't want, this time of year they can't wait too long.
Some of them may have waited till this time of the year, because why spend it in December or January if you can spend it in March or April?
That's the way it is, and I can't blame them. I guess if I don't need it, I'm not going to spend it either. But it just makes it hard to to fix them all relatively quick. But no, that's why we decided to instead of having the showroom in here, the equipment's outside if people want to still see it. But we're still serving the pancakes and sausage, and everything else is the same with the drawings. But
we'll point out again that today on the 29th of March, it was invitation only, but sometime in the spring when the weather's good, all the homeowners and backyard weed eaters and stuff, people that there'll be a day available for
right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, something at a little later time where it's a little nicer out, but like right now was strictly by for the farmer for invitation. And
how many people do you have working back here, Wayne, with you?
Back here there's 6.
So you would have lost 6 people, all week's worth of pay.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, it's the whole week.
Yeah, you're
getting ready, and
6 people's full salaries just to make way for somebody can have a pancake here. So not very practical.
Right.
Sounds like you're being paged.
I'm being paged.
All right, we'll cut just for a moment. Okay, Sam says we are back on. Wayne had a phone call he had to attend to. This is this is not your typical scene out here. Hey, Wayne, come again, get a little closer here. This is not typical that you have this many pieces of equipment back here, I would think.
Well, not like right this time, but like a month from now, yes.
Really?
But right now, it's not really. Shouldn't quite be this full. Some of the stuff we're working on, it's off-brand, and some of it takes a little bit longer to get parts for. Like you got one piece of equipment here, the part's coming from England, so that takes longer and that kind of backs you up.
You
So-
pull it apart and you got.
That's it. You gotta wait, and you get so many ones. I mean, but once they get the parts in, then we can turn them around pretty quick.
Now I recall when Bob Van and I first started coming here back in 1990. This part here didn't exist.
No,
What did you guys do then when you got a big piece of equipment?
yeah, that was tough. The equipment is bigger today, but there was still some big ones back then. But it was tough to move them around, especially when they didn't run in that, and because we got a lot bigger equipment now to bring them in, when they're not running. But back then we didn't, and you just had to manage what you had. It's very difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine. If you didn't have this facility here, you couldn't handle this.
No, not like the tractor over in the front there, that MX 270. That tractor's a huge tractor. It's like 1.5 bigger than the tractors, back in the 70s. So that's to say you had to expand in order to accommodate working on something like that.
Yeah, now you get that thing in here, then you've got 6 other pieces blocking it from the door. So if it gets fixed,
Yep, we got to move something. Like
gotta
right
move
now,
a lot of something.
Yeah, right now this tractor here is slid back together, but it was split apart for a clutch job. We just slid it back together just to get more room. But yeah, if that one gets done, we have to sometimes finagle them around. We try not to do it anymore, and you have to. You try and put something in place that's going to be there longer. Especially like when you do like a motor job, an engine overhaul. That takes time because you got to send like the block and the crankshaft out for machine work, and that takes extra time. So you're not just waiting for parts; you're waiting on somebody else to, do some services for you.
Now, are you able to utilize some of the local machine shops for stuff like that, or do you have to send it?
No, it's pretty well. We got one machine shop here in Mowers, and then one in Brainersville, which is still our area, so it's fairly close down, and one in Chazy.
So you
It's
haven't got to send them too far.
no. It's all local, where you just put them in a pickup and you just take it, or they drop it off. Either or. Yep. As you can see, it's a lot of different types of repairs in here right now. This one here is a clutch job. The tractor over in the front, we had to pull the engine out in order to fix an oil leak on the bottom end. This one, that cat loader, that has a cracked torque converter, had a major hydraulic leak.
Yeah, Sam saw it. It looked like it has a cracked torque converter. He was right again.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
He's sharp.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And on the one straight from me is a MX 120. It's got a broken U-joint in the front four-wheel drive, which every once in a while with a four-wheel drive tractor, that will happen. It puts a lot of pressure on them.
Now, a throwaway comment you said was that we split this one here. Roughly when did the tractors get big enough that they were split? Like, and by split you mean that you just actually take it in 2 halves?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we.
Obviously the old John Deere Bs and the Farm All H's and
Yeah.
the M's and split.
No, not like this. Like where this engine bolts up to the transmission, it's called to the bell housing, but then there's a plate in there where you take and there's like 8-10 bolts around that, and you support each section, the transmission section and then the engine section, and then you slide it away in order to get access to the clutch and pressure plate.
Yeah, so you got to have some lift.
As you can see, we have chain falls throughout here. Someday I'd like to put more in the other end, but takes time and money.
Yeah. Now, do all your people go to schools, or do you teach here?
We teach some here, and some certain ones go to schools. Yep, we have different, for Case IH or for different brands we sell, you have to go to different. And sometimes that's pretty tough because those schools are a long ways from here, usually in, Iowa, or they're not Racine, Wisconsin. They're not close to home, so it's tough, but
you got to handle those equipment. You got to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And have you gone to quite a few of those? Or?
I used to years ago, but not lately. Because when I first, it was kind of service managing and working at the same time,
Right.
but now it's to the point where I don't work on them anymore. schedule it and bill it and
Then you rely on
and help them out, if
Yeah.
they do have problems. But
Yeah. Well, anything else, Wayne, that you think is important for us to know about?
no, just appreciate all the farmers that turned out today. Seemed to have a pretty good, turnout of farmers, but as we didn't advertise it, but we had, real good turnout. And I appreciate them coming because, we do it for them. Have pancakes and sausage and some raffle tickets. No, thank you guys for coming. We appreciate Hometown Cable and what you do for this North Country. I also like to, thank all the volunteer help we got. That's all volunteer that's doing the cooking and the serving. We just, we appreciate the help they do for us. If not, it wouldn't be
Couldn't do it.
hard to, wouldn't be possible to have this. So
Yeah, it'd be hard to well, you'd have to. Yeah, I imagine you got a few guys working back here today.
yeah,
anyway,
there
right?
2 or 3 working, yeah, and then we got a couple others are showing equipment to people, but we just appreciate all the support we get from the farmers, and that's why we're doing this.
Okay, well, thank you, Wayne.
Thank you.
I think usually when we talk to this fellow, he's wearing a red International Harvester colored sweater, but you forgot what day it was today, Jack.
Well, I got one out, but Margaret says it was a little too big for me, so I had to go to a smaller one.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't want it to be loose and hanging on you.
Well, that's it.
Jack Dragoon, the patriarch of all this. We're here for our 22nd time, Jack. Doesn't seem like 21 years ago that Bob and I first showed up, but that's how long it's been.
Well, time does fly, doesn't it?
It sure does. I was just talking to Wayne. We were just back in the service area there, and when Bob and I first came here, I think your building probably ended right about here.
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
And
No, it ended up, there are the stairways up here.
even less than that.
Yeah.
So you would have had a hard time servicing some of these pieces of equipment that you're handling now.
They're pretty good size, so
We've all gotten a little older, and some of us aren't around anymore, but a lot has changed in the last 21 years besides that when it comes to farming, eh, Jack?
quite a bit, and it's still changing, going on. It's not like it used to be.
No.
All the farmers are probably 85, 90% of farmers that we used to service since I've been here, no longer with us and sold out. And it's too bad.
Yeah, you sent an invitation out to the farmers here, and again, we'll point out that there will be another event later on in the spring, so that if people are watching this saying, "Oh, hey, I didn't know about it," don't be upset. There will be something going on later in the spring when the weather is a little bit nicer.
That's for sure. You can't depend upon the weather too much, and as you can see, our shop is full, and there's just as much to come in. I guess Wayne probably told you, there's no way where we could shut the shop down for a week. It takes a week to get ready out there.
Yeah, besides the farmers not having their equipment, you're paying people a whole week's worth of wages, 6, 7 guys a whole week's worth of wages for.
Well, that you get cleaned up. It has advantages where you can clean up, but we're just way behind. We've been very fortunate. We've been busy all winter long, kept everybody on the payroll, and so we've got as many to come back in to repair, and I got some of my own stuff, which is kind of neglected. Mine get fixed usually later on, so we can sell some of that.
Yeah, you take stuff in and trade in, you want to fix it up and get it out there, but if you
It's rough.
you want to get that farmer in the field first, so you got to handle his first and get to yours later.
By cutting down without that space out there over 100 feet by 65 is hard to have it the way it's been going. Been getting pretty big as years goes on, but it took some deciding between all of us, and we thought later on we have to outside put a tent, and we'll have something later on.
Well, I suggested to Gary off camera that maybe you could have them hands-on demonstrations that people try out the equipment. To, send somebody up to Wayne's house, up to Gary's house, do some trimming, cut your brush for you over to your camp. Get people to try out the equipment and cut a little brush for you.
No, never mind the brush, just cut the lawn.
Come with your gas can though, because gas is getting expensive.
That's outrageous. That affects everything.
It does. If you can afford to fill up your gas tank, then you're not spending that money on something else.
And it comes right down to the people. And like on these tractors, the freight, you got so much, but they got surcharges. Some of them tractors probably $100 to $200 extra just a surcharge because of the gas going up.
Yeah,
and then it affects the steel price, and constantly changing prices, 5%, some gone up 6%, 3 and 3 already this year, and they're only part way. So something's got to be done, and they better do it before long.
Yeah, we'll quickly become a third wheel world country here if we don't straighten up. One of the things I've noticed is your just to change the subject a little bit. Your pictures on the wall have changed.
Yeah, we'll adding on.
You constantly new additions here. I think
a couple more there. Another one there. March. They're expecting another child, so they'll be adding another one on. So
you're gonna need a bigger wall just to put the pictures up.
Running out of wall. I got some stuff that. A lots more that could have been put up, but no room for it.
Yeah, you get rid of your kids, and you only have room for your own kids. You're on to the grandkids and the great grandkids up there.
Yeah.
Let's talk farmers. Have the prices gone up at all on milk? I heard somebody say today that they went up a little bit.
Well, they're supposed to. They claim it's going up more, but the grain has gone up a lot. Fertilizer's gone up. Gas has gone up. So, will they be benefiting too much? It's hard to tell. Time will tell. But unless that fuel's got to drop, there's no reason it should be like that.
No, things have to be done to get that down and get it in line, because it's not just farmers. Everybody else will be in big trouble.
Everybody's affected. I don't care what you do, they're affected.
Yeah, and as I was mentioning to Gary earlier, just going out and mowing your lawn is going to cost you more to fill that lawnmower up if you got a couple acres to mow.
Mine to the house, about 4 gallons it takes me to mow my lawn. So.
What else would you like the world to know about today, Jack?
Well, I don't know. No sense of complaining. It doesn't do much.
You got another birthday coming up tomorrow?
Oh yeah, Sandy Menard brought me a birthday cake. She says that's not bought neither. It's handmade, which I believe. So it's very nice of her to bring me a cake. So it's tomorrow.
We won't ask you how old you are, but
it don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
A year older than last year.
I think
How old were you last year?
I was 73 last year, so a year older.
He's running 10 years ahead of me.
Yeah.
That's all I know. No, you're running 10 years ahead of me. Yeah. Your father started this, 53, 54?
1953.
53. And you graduated shortly thereafter.
54.
So you've been doing this, nothing else?
No, I worked out a couple of, I always was most of the time during the day, probably a part day or something, but I worked a couple, 3 Falls or Shazy Orchard. Then I also, Georgia Pacific, I worked there nights quite a bit. So, come back totally 59, towards 65, I took over complete of it. So, getting up there in years.
Yeah, and yeah.
Like most of them there, I should be retired and double dipping.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, looks like the county treasurer wants to see you here, so we'll.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's probably bringing me some more money.
Oh.
As long as they don't raise taxes, that's all I care.
Come on in, Mr. Treasurer.
Oh, no.
You got a check? You got a pay?
I had to tell you that Mr. Zorlo couldn't make it, so
He couldn't make it.
no.
Mr. Zorlo couldn't make it.
For him not to be able to come and eat, must have a good
He
reason.
had a
Did you have a?
Lake Champlain Management, he sits on the CAC, and he had an important meeting, he said, for me to tell you that.
Well, go and eat one for him.
Yeah.
I already ate.
Tell him it was good.
Did you bring a doggy bag, Joe?
No,
No.
I don't want him to get one.
Former farmer. There's a former farmer, Joe Giroux. Is he still farming? Is he still
The boy's on the farm, but I'm sure he's putting some hours in there too.
county treasurer? And of course, he's talking about John Zerlo, our county clerk, who.
Oh, yeah, we've been associated quite a while. Very helpful down in the office down there.
Okay, well, I'll have your pancake, John. So, just so.
Well, I'm glad you're on. I'm awful glad you came, both of yous, and appreciate it very much and enjoyed watching it. Was it 1991, was it?
It was one of the early ones. I think it was 91. Might have been 20 years ago that I put on. Yeah. Or 92. 91 or 92, I think it was. Yeah.
Quite a change.
Quite a change, yeah.
In the size of the kids and quite a few
The people that were here.
not here any longer. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. 22 years from now, I'll be going on 84. 22 years from now, I'll be going on 86. You'll be going on 96. So.
It'll be a rough 22 years. I don't care how you.
I'll have to get somebody different to run the camera, though. I don't think Sam will be around.
I don't know. He's about younger than you.
Oh, yeah, he's quite a bit. Yeah, he's minus 3 years younger. Than
Oh,
me.
is that all? Wow.
Double minus.
2 years older.
3 years older. Wow.
Okay, Jack.
Yeah, I appreciate it again, and thank
All right.
you.
And next
You'll
year.
come up later tomorrow and have some birthday cake.
Okay, have some cake tomorrow. It matches your sweater. She must have known what's kind of.
That's why she called me. Want to know what color her sweater I was wearing. So that's why she put blue on.
Okay. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, thank you.
Where are you going with that platter of eggs there, young man?
Up front.
That's a new addition this year.
Yeah, Jack wanted us to cook some eggs, so we're cooking eggs.
And it looks like you're raring to go.
I gotta get them up there.
Get them while they're hot. Get them while they're hot. Todd Jarvis running off with a. Will I get a trim while you're back there, young man?
Oh yeah, if you got a cigarette lighter and a comb, we can do it.
Didn't you have a hairnet on?
Possible.
Okay, well, we'll have to report this in.
Very possible.
Larry, how many times have you done this?
Oh, I'm pretty much new at it. I've only been 4 or 5 years.
Just a rookie.
Yeah, I'm just a rookie. You learn pretty quick. They tell you how to do it.
Larry Dumas, the local barber here. When did Jack talk you into this? You said about 5 years ago? Did you beg him to come on, or did he talk you into it?
No, I've always had Wednesday off, and since I'm up here, I got Tuesday off, and he always does it on Tuesday. So help him out. He helps me out, I help him out.
So you cook eggs and pancakes, or just eggs?
Usually I'm on a sausage, but Bert's been at it a long time. He's better at it than me.
Oh, we'll see Bert then. Young Mr. Snide, how are you?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Good. You cut both varieties of egg. You got the sausage and the link.
Yep. We got the patties, link. Been going through quite a bit.
The different brand of patties this year, they seem a little bit different texture.
Yeah, well, I think he probably had them made a little bit different, added a little more different ingredients to it.
Oh, these are specially made just for Jack?
Yeah, that's his recipe, I guess.
Oh. How long have you been doing this, Bert?
I don't know, quite a while. He started in the old shop way back before he even built this one.
Oh, that's quarter of a century ago or so.
Yeah, that was quite a while.
Well, you've been employed over the different places over the years. Did you take a day off from the work?
Well, I generally do, but I don't have to anymore. So.
No, the man gets your age.
Yeah. So anyway,
One day older than him. Oh, you guys are twins. Larry's just a day older?
Younger. No. He's older than I am.
Day older. I thought he looked a little older.
He's older than I am. Then Clarence McDonald's a day younger than me.
Oh.
We're all in the same group.
It was a busy time at the hospital.
Yeah. No, I was at home.
Uh-oh. And you're that old?
Yeah. Up on the book.
By the time they hooked up the team of horses, it would have been delivered on the way, right?
Yeah, by the time, I think it was Dr. Vanacker who used to be at Champlain. By the time he got up there, I think it would have been too late.
So who delivered you?
Neighbors, I think. I don't know. I don't remember.
You weren't paying attention, were you?
No.
All right, we'll let you get back to work. We'll see who's eating in the back over here. Some people are working, and some people are back in the working area eating.
Yeah.
Looks like you're enjoying that, Francis Menard.
Yeah, I am.
Did you see how it was cooked?
Yeah.
Now, you've done this a few years off and on, haven't you?
Yeah. Last 5-6 years.
Last 5-6 years, you're back here helping out? Do you think the eggs were a good addition this year?
Yeah, this Drew brought these up to us.
All right. Well, looks like you're awfully busy. We won't bother you too much. Okay? When we first arrived today, the first thing we did was get a sampling of some roast pork.
Yes. We did the pork loin, but if you had been here a little bit earlier, you would have had the meatloaf that we did. And right now we have the turkey that we've done on the Holland Grill.
All right, step out of the way here and let Sam look at that turkey there. Your name?
My name is John. I'm the New York State demonstrator for the Holland Grill.
And does John have a last name?
Abby.
John Abbey. All right. And New York State, you got the whole state? Or?
I've got the whole state. I now have also Massachusetts and Connecticut. They're not able to get out from Ohio. I'm a little bit closer than everyone, so I've been given Massachusetts and Connecticut as well.
All right, cooking turkeys around the country. All right, so that turkey was done on a grill like this outside?
Yes, on the Holland Grill outside. Today it's about 37, 38 degrees out, and it took 2 hours and 45 minutes to cook this 18-pound turkey.
Okay, let's go back now, and you're cutting samples there, John?
Yes, we've got samples.
Who's here today
we were cutting samples, and then everyone sampled. We've done the meatloaf, pork loin. We're even going to do a pizza a little bit later on. Anything that you can do in your oven, you can probably do on the Holland Grill.
All right. I know Sam, my brother, says he cooks his bacon and sausage at home and with his Holland Grill.
Anything on the Holland Grill. You can even make monkey bread. Instead of putting it in your oven, just preheat the grill up and put your monkey bread in here for about a half an hour and it'll be done.
Can you bake a cake?
Yes, you can bake a cake in here as well.
Bake a pie?
Bake a pie. Anything that you can put on the grill that won't go through the grids onto it, you can probably put on here. You can make grilled cheese sandwiches on here. A number of different things.
You just can't pop popcorn.
Just can't pop popcorn. No. But it turns into a steamer as well, so you can steam your vegetables or steam fish or anything like that.
Okay, now you're telling us when we arrived here earlier off camera that Holland Grill people have come out with a new grill that's more economically priced, and that's the...
Yes, that's the grill right here this year. It's called the Maverick Grill. It's come out to be more competitive. It hasn't got the steaming capabilities. It's just a smoker grill now, and it lists for $5.99. So this is trying to answer the questions of people didn't want the steaming capabilities, so we're just letting it be a steamer capabilities on the other ones and keeping it just a smoker grill here.
Okay, now the thing about the Holland Grill is that you cook your food on there, and particularly you're thinking about grilling, you're thinking about meats, and it just drips through and drains out into a little pail on the side, so you don't get that back flow of
Right. All your grease and everything drips out and goes into a catch pan. Your smoke that does come up from your food that drips onto the drip pan comes back up and actually seasons and flavors your food that much more.
A lot of times on most grills, you get some chicken, and the chicken fat starts
flaring up. And that's the nice thing about the grill on this, is it's the only grill on the market today that is guaranteed not to flare up. What does that mean? It's not going to catch fire because the drip pan catches all your drippings and it doesn't get down to the flame, so it's not going to flare up onto you.
So you're not going to have this big bonfire
right.
when you turn your back. Now, I think, I'm not sure if it was Holland Grill that came out with the saying, if you're looking, you're not cooking.
Yes, that's one of their slogans. Also, the new slogan they got out is the grill that you will, because it lasts so long. The life expectancies on these are right now are 15 years. That's based on new grills purchased versus the older grills that are on the market. We've got a 15-year grill life on them right now.
Obviously, how you take care of it's going to impact that a little bit.
Impact it a little bit, but for the most part, they're pretty bulletproof. Your cooking surface and your burner that's in them are guaranteed for the life of the grill. If either one fails, it's replaced for free.
Wow.
Which is a real nice feature.
What is the life of the grill then? The hardware that holds it up, or what do you call the life of the grill?
The life of the grill is when you can't fix it or repair it anymore.
Okay.
Average life expectancy on most grills right now is about 2 years, a year and a half to 2 years, depending on some of the grills. My personal grill is 11 years old and counting. I'm expecting quite a few more years out of it. It looks still brand new.
Now, before somebody would throw a turkey on there, they'd probably want to know what they were doing. Does the grill come with instructions and cooking tips?
It all comes with a little information pamphlet onto it of how to cook onto it, as well as if they wanted to know other things, they can go right onto the Holland Grill website, which is just hollandgrill.com, and go to the recipes link, and it has the recipes right on there for them to cook as well.
Also, if they don't have it in that little booklet, or if they lose the booklet, that's right there available on the internet.
Right there available on the internet for them, yes.
All right. Anything else that you think we ought to know about this grill, besides that the food tastes good?
It's the best grill on the market.
Best grill on the market. Now, you wouldn't say that if it weren't true, right?
I've proved it to myself before I became a representative for them. So, and I can honestly say that it is the best grill on the market.
All right.
We had a contest this year that was online, and the Holland Grill won the contest.
It was all the Holland Grill dealers that got to choose.
No, actually, it was all the customers that had purchased the Holland Grills. It was an independent grill survey across the United States, and the Holland Grill came out on top.
Okay, well, a testament indeed. I know I've got one at home. My brother Sam has one at home, and Sam uses his year-round, so he opens up the garage doors and wheels it out.
It's something you can use year-round.
Yeah, you got to be outdoors with it. Obviously, you don't want to put it in your garage with the doors shut. You want to?
No, it's got to have a little bit of ventilation, because it is going to be smoking a little bit when it's cooking the food because of the grease dripping down and hitting a drip pan on it.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's about it.
All right. Thank you for chatting with us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Well, that's going to wrap up our coverage today. We had a few other people that we'd hoped to talk to. We had Dan Dragoon all lined up, and then he got put to work. So he's out there doing something a little more productive than chatting with us, I guess, at the moment. So we're unable to talk with him. We're sorry we missed a few people, but I plan on being back again next year for the 23rd time, and maybe whoever we miss this time we can talk to next time. This has been a look at the Dragoon's farm equipment, as we mentioned a couple of times through the course of this event. This year it was invitation only for today, the 30th of March. Excuse me, the 29th of March. Tomorrow being the 30th, Jack Dragoon's birthday, the 29th of March 2011. But later on in the spring, keep an eye out. There will be another event coming up. They haven't quite finalized what they'll be doing, but they will be doing something here and making sure all the rest of the community is aware of it and invited, probably on a nice day when the grass is growing and the birds are singing and the sun is shining. They'll have something else here. So don't feel left out if you're not a farmer and you weren't invited here. It wasn't done to slight anybody. If you were with us when we looked in the back at the work area where they normally have displays set up, you saw half a dozen or more pieces of huge equipment, tractors and such back there, and they would have lost a whole week's worth of work to prepare that area for today. And those farmers need those tractors if they're going to be out doing the work that they need to be doing very shortly. So our thanks to Sam Castine for coming along with us and running the camera. And once again, we've been at Dragoon's Farm Equipment, beautiful downtown Mowers. Thanks for watching.